everyone, and welcome to another episode of Toonkind at 12 frames per second. I am Hexabeast, just Hex is fine, and today I am playing two people. I am playing Miss Vava Von Vixen and her excitable little 8-year-old child. And I am joined today by my good friend. Please introduce yourself and who you will be playing.
Hello, hello, hello. My name is Whirlwind Gale. Please just call me Gale, or Whirl if you must. Um, and I am delighted to be here, and I'm delighted to be playing um, the. Um, and my words just died. I am going to be playing Cyril Book, who is a ballet instructor. And I am also going to be playing his 8-year-old son, Wild Card.
Yes. And this is the fact that they are 8 years old both is important, as you will soon see, because Vivi also takes Cyril is not only a ballet instructor, he is Vivi's ballet instructor, and he's been teaching her ballet alongside his son. And usually how it works is Vivi will go to school and then she comes after class to have her lessons, and then her mother will pick her up. Um, that did not happen today. In
No, no, it did
Yeah,
not.
yeah. Um, Instead of Vava picking up her children show up at her house.
Yeah, they're. I imagine, even though logically they probably should be able to walk right in because one of them lives here.
Hmm.
Instead, there is a very serious little knock on the door, very much the little shave and a haircut knock.
Okay. Well, first of all, there's the answer. There's the two-bit answer, because you have to. You're a tune. It's the rules.
It's the law.
It's the law. When someone calls shaving a haircut, you answer 2 bits. That's how this works. And so Vava answers the two gives the 2-bit answer, and then opens the door and has this surprised, why is my daughter standing here with her friend at our front door? And then she has the maybe this is a bit. And so she just goes, "Yes, Wild, darling, how can I help you?"
Oh, goodness. And Wild, this tiny little blueberry boy who is. This boy who is built a bit like a blueberry has his hands very squarely on his hips in the I am on a serious mission in position. And he doesn't really look you in the eye because he doesn't show his eyes.
Mhm.
Kiddo wears a mask that kind of covers everything, but he looks up at you and he says, "Miss Vava, we have a plan and we need your help."
And Vivi is standing next to him, and she equally has her arms crossed, very serious and authoritative. And she nods, and she nods very seriously, and she just says, "You're the only one who can help. You're the only one who can do this. So we need you to help." And Vava just goes, "Well, my oh my, what on earth do you need my help with? That is such a serious matter.
Oh, goodness.
Whatever could it be?"
And um Wild nods and looks to Vivi like, "Yes, good. She's taking this seriously. This is very important."
Yeah. Hmm. And
And
go ahead.
he says, "Well, it's a matter of a competition, ma'am. We are getting. Vivi and I have been practicing a dance for the town fire festival, but or Lamplighter Festival. Fire Festival is what it's called in its canon version, and we're not in canon. Anyway."
Nodding sage. Mhm.
the Lamplighter Festival is this annual celebration in Knickknack Town with a dance competition. And Vivi and I are really good. We could probably win and we could get a cool golden apple. But in order to go, I'd need to get my dad to come with, and Dad Minor always doesn't go because he always says he doesn't have a cool enough dress to wear, which is dumb because he definitely has enough money to get one, but he just never goes out shopping ever. And you're really good at fashion and you're really pretty and stylish, so you could probably help.
The whole time that he goes on about this, Vivi is just nodding along, like in total and complete agreement, and Vava is trying so hard to maintain a serious face as one, they explain this story, two, they say they can win, and three, they start complimenting her. She is doing her absolute best to keep the most serious face that she can. Uh, in fact, let me see how well she does
Oh god,
about
that reminds me,
this.
I don't have my character sheets up.
Oh no! It's a
I am a
good thing
fool. I am Bobo the clown.
that is all right. Is this actually Vava? Holy shit, your modifiers are better than I thought. Okay. Uh, so, okay, so Vava got a dirty 20 on her deception to hold a straight face. So she is, in fact, keeping a very straight face. She is nodding along very sternly. And when Wilde finishes this whole explanation, she stands up and says, "Right then, this is a very serious matter indeed. I would be more than happy to provide my skills to ensure that your father has the perfect outfit for the evening so that you two may win this competition. Come along inside come along inside so that I can get my coat, children." And she ushers them inside to get
Amazing.
ready. Phoebe, once Vava turns away, Phoebe turns to Wilde and is just, "Yes, we did it," and she high fives him.
High five, fist bump, probably some kind of kid handshake, let's be real.
Oh yeah, it's a kid handshake, absolutely. And
Amazing.
Vava. So Vava is still like asking Wilde question. She's already has an idea, but she wants to, she's including the kids. So she just, "All right. So what is your plan? I am very I am very eager to lend my services to this plan. But what do you have in mind? Are we going to go shopping and buy him a new outfit, or are we going to see what he already has in his closet? Or do I need to bring something?"
Hmm. And Wilde kind of gets this. You know that expression that you have when it's like, wait, shit, I didn't think I'd get this far?
Yes. Yes.
His entire plan was, my technically twin has a very cool mom who's very good at fashion. She could probably figure out how to dress for a dance, right? He did not actually plan for shit.
That is perfectly fine. So, man, all right. So, she kind of she's putting on, she's getting on a coat because it's probably a little chilly.
Mm-hmm.
But she just says, "Well, how about we first see what there is to work with, and I can bring a few things that might suit him. And if there's nothing that he deems fitting for such a an event, we can then take him downtown into the shops where I know there are several places that would have something that would be very flattering for him."
And Wilde nods like, yes, this was definitely the plan all along. I definitely knew what I was doing. And he
You
definitely does
definitely
not give Vivi a look out of the corner like of his eye like, oh god, I dodged a bullet.
Vivi is just nodding along very seriously, like, "Yes, this is the perfect plan. Wilde, you came up with the best plan. All right." So Baba just very much goes, "All right, children, come along then. Let's go meet your father, Wilde."
And that's how they wind up getting on a trolley and going back over to Knickknack Town, because
Yup.
in a show of impeccable work-life balance, Cyril quite literally lives at the school.
It's just, yep.
He lives at the school right above the dance building, because of course he does.
Because of course he does. This man does nothing but work.
It's important, okay? And
It is important to
if
him.
you're
No.
constantly working, then you can't get into trouble.
That incorrect, but you have an 8-year-old, Cyril. You will get into trouble. But that's fine. It's fine.
Listen, let the man dream.
He can dream. It's fine. All right. So Vava follows the kids, just very much letting them take the lead on this because this is their plan. They came up with this, so she's letting them lead it. Even if she has to steer them a little bit to keep them on track, it's fine. It's still their plan.
Yeah, like at one point they probably get distracted. I'm gonna be real. Wilde is constantly distracted by sounds of stuff in Knickknack Town because music everywhere.
Yep.
This baby loves
Yep.
music.
Yep.
And so you probably have to like gently direct him back on course because he can and will get distracted just staring at somebody who's sitting on one of the boats in the canal playing music.
Oh, Vava is almost a master at just like absently steering children. Like that's just listen, single parent, yeah, she's good at this. Like so
Actually, question, has Vava ever had time to like look around Knickknack Town on her way to pick up Vivi?
no, actually. She doesn't really take a lot of time to I guess look around the area. She knows pretty much the area around Dodo Studios, and that's it. And a little bit of downtown, but not much. So, yeah, she doesn't know much about Knickknack.
Goodness. Okay, roll me perception real quick.
Oh, cool. All right, let's see. What's your perception? Not terrible. That's a 16.
Yeah. Okay, so you probably don't take a lot of time to, look around town, but you have walked this path before, after you get off
Yeah.
the trolley at the station at one of the four gates. You always have to walk through the town to get to the school through the school district.
Hmm.
And so you've kind of memorized a little bit of what the area looks like just on just on that behalf.
Yeah.
Um, and there's something interesting because there are new decorations everywhere.
Ooh.
You can see people like working together to put up these really, really big poles that are covered in carvings of flames, and at the top of them hold really big lanterns that are full of what look like fireflies, but magic fireflies, not alive fireflies.
Hmm.
And um, there are ribbons laced between the existing gas lamps that go up and down the street. There are a bunch of different like types of decorations depicting swans and crows.
Ooh.
Um, and as you pass the plaza that is in front of the big bridge that leads into Crown Jewel Academy,
Hmm.
um, in that plaza, what is usually a fountain has been dried out and is being slowly filled up with firewood.
Ooh, all right.
So when Wilde said that there was a big festival, he wasn't exaggerating.
He was not exaggerating at all. And Vava has been in Toontown for, about it's been a bit over a year now, but this is like she's not she wasn't in Knickknack during this period of time. So this is her first time ever seeing anything like this. And it's just she is looking around and is very interested and also managing to keep an eye on her kids because let's be real. They're her kid. They're both her kids. Let's just be real. She doesn't know it yet. She doesn't know it yet. But anyway,
Dramatic parents will eventually become a thing.
anyway, it'll happen. But anyway, so she's looking around. She's steering the kids as she walks, and she's just very much like, oh goodness, you said a festival, and I don't think I quite realized how much of a big deal this is.
Oh yeah, it's the biggest festival in town. Every year or for a week, we celebrate because and Wilde is actually gonna have to roll history here because
Oh, honey.
he's an 8-year-old, and yeah, he kind of
I
grew
know,
up here.
but he's 8.
He's 8. He knows the story. He's just not good at telling it.
I understand. And I sympathize so much because I've been there.
Okay, that's an 11. So
Average, so.
yeah, it's a little bit above average. So basically he's like, well, I don't exactly know exactly how it goes, but basically a long time ago, the queens of the town, um there was a fight, and they they came here and they built the town to protect the people, and that's why it's the fire festival, because they lit a light here that everyone for miles around could come to be around, and it's great. And we celebrate it with a dance because dance is important.
Vava kind of nods along, like, oh, like that makes perfect sense. That explanation makes perfect sense. Um,
It does not make perfect sense.
nope, but she is humoring this child. So she nods along, just like, I see, all right, okay. Um, and she is she's just the part about it goes on for a week. That's a bit like, oh wow, this is a whole deal. Okay, like um but also the bit about two queens and a fight is kind of piquing her interest, and she makes a note to ask Cyril about that later.
Mm-hmm.
Uh to get an to get to get a more coherent explanation. We'll say.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. Um, but I think like at that point y'all have crossed the bridge into the school, and you're gonna have an even harder time keeping a hold of Wild now because there are people he knows wandering around and helping getting ready for the festivities.
Hmm.
So he just keeps like pausing in the middle of sentences to wave hello to someone.
Baba has not, I mean, it's subtle, but it's also very not subtle because she's just taken Wild's hand. Like she's holding both Vivi and Wild's hand as she walks. So she's letting them lead, but she's just like, nope, we need child leashes, so we are holding hands. That's how this works.
um And I think at one point, as you guys kind of get to the center of the courtyard, Wild kind of stops, full stop, and calls over to one of the teachers, who you can tell is a teacher because you've seen Cyril outside of the classroom a couple times, just
Hmm.
picking up Vivi, which means
Yeah.
that you've seen that the teachers all have the same black feather cloak.
Yeah.
Um, and so Wild like stops and calls over to one of the teachers who, do I have a picture of him? I do not. Anyway, he calls over to one of these teachers who looks kind of Cupid inspired, and says, "Hey, Val, come here." And this teacher, who you can assume is Val, walks over and says, "Well, hey, wasn't expecting
Yes.
you lot to be back so early, and you brought someone along." And he kind of gives Vava the once over, and like looks down at Wild and says, "Am like roll perception, because he's going to be whispering something to Wild."
Oh boy. Let's see if Vava does well on this one. That's a 19.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely see Val like crouch down to the kids and whisper, "This the one your dad's sweet on?"
Vivi just nods like she heard this. Her passive is 22. No, 23. I'm sorry. Her passive is
She was
23. She
being
heard this.
spoken to. She was one of the ones being
Oh,
spoken to.
okay. I didn't know if he was just addressing Wilde or both of them. So, okay. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
Vivi is nodding like very enthusiastically, and Vava is rolling deception to not be. Okay, Vava is doing her absolute best to keep a poker face and not blush.
and Wilde just gives the very serious little yes. And Val like nods and is like, "All right, okay." And he stands back up and says, "I reckon y'all are looking for Cyril then."
We are indeed, yes. Have you seen him around?
Yeah, he was just in the classroom a couple minutes ago, finishing up. He finished up with his last class for the day, but you know him. He likes to stick around and practice himself after class. Absolute dork.
Yes, I do know this. I've seen him practice before, and she sounds very fond. Just
Oh, goodness. And
Vava is quietly having, by the way, Vava's quietly having the "Am I about to get parent trapped?" moment thought. Like,
oh, goodness. Um, I mean, you can roll insight. I am also going to roll insight, but you can roll insight.
oh, that's just a flat D20. All right. Oh shit. That's an 8 for me, and that's a 15.
So Val was trying to figure out how Vava feels about Cyril just based on that fawn tone. Just like, all right, I
Yeah.
know my best friend. I know he's had rough times with people he's been interested in the past. What is the sitch?
Oh, Vava is Vava is I don't want to use the word smitten, but she definitely is like she definitely does like Cyril.
Good.
So that's part of why she was trying so hard not to blush because just oh no. Oh, oh no. He's sweet on me. Oh no. Oh no. I'm sweet on him. Oh no. Vava has the self-awareness lately to realize these things
Oh,
somewhat.
goodness.
But yeah.
And you kind of see just the smirk on Val's face. It's not condescending or anything, but come on, this guy is a cupid. He's like he probably gets along with Vivi pretty well because he's also a follower of Crunkle.
Oh, absolutely.
Just this guy
Vivi
knows people and knows their feelings, and he's like, "All right, you're not gonna hurt him. You're safe. Okay."
Vava Vava returns the look and is just like not the fun look, but she just gives a look like I don't like that you have read me.
and
I
this
don't like that you've done this.
and he just kind of grins and winks at you and says, y'all should be able to catch him if you hurry over there. Or if not, he's gonna be in the apartment, which is just up the stairs around the corner.
All right. Thank you very much, darling. And she very gently tugs the kids, like, come along now. We're going to get your make your father fashionable. Let's go.
Congratulations, you have been spared from a. You've been
She
spared from a shovel talk.
she doesn't get shovel talked. Yes.
You get spared from a shovel talk by the man with many guns.
That's fine. Listen, it's okay. Vava can shovel talk right back, and she has a knife or three. But that's
Yeah.
not the point. It's fine. Anyway.
sorry. Throat's gunked up.
All good.
God. We've been going for several minutes and we haven't even gotten the whole cast here.
It's fine. It's cute, okay?
It's fun.
Yes. But Vava leads the kids back into the dance room. Would she be? Is she gonna try and see if she can see Cyril dancing again? Yes, she is. So she's going to quietly open the door and not knock yet. Uh, if the kids shout and run on in, that's their deal. But like,
Let me roll insight for the child.
oh wait, I should do that for Vivi because Vivi has pretty good insight.
God, what should I make Wilde's insight? I'd say a +3. He has access to the music, so.
Oh, Vivi.
Oh, goodness.
It's 2 nat ones for the kids.
The kids have no idea why Miss Vava is being so quiet.
They have no idea. They are here on a mission, and they are going to follow that mission. So Vava opens the door, and the kids burst in, guns a-blazing.
Yeah, and Cyril was in the middle of practice, but is almost immediately stopped by his son running in, screaming, Dad Miner, we have a visitor for you! And just, I have to actually roll a dex save for Cyril to catch his kid.
And Vivi is running back in like, yeah, we brought my mom. She's gonna help. She can help us. It's okay.
Oh, good lord. So, congratulations, Vava. You open the door, the kids burst in, and you see Cyril immediately get knocked to the floor by his son, who is now basically sitting on his stomach.
Incredible. Vava has that very just figures kind of look as she closes as she steps into the studio, into the dance hall. Just, well, hello, Cyril.
Greetings, Miss Vava. Greetings. Wilde, thou art not quite as light as a feather. Wouldst thee mind getting off of mineself? Oh, sorry, Dad. Cyril's not gonna get up for a minute. He's just gonna lie on the floor like, yep, this is my life now.
Yep, it's floor time. Vava just calmly walks over and leans over him. Just, do you need a hand, darling? Are you quite all right?
He kind of sighs and rubs at his eyes and is like, "'Tis not the first time I've been knocketh over. Give me a minute." And he just takes a breath, quite literally peels himself up off the floor because, yay, being made of goop.
Yep.
Brushes himself off, looks at the floor. There's glitter there. Of course there is. And he's like, gosh darn it. And I did just finish cleaning. Goodness. Miss Vava, as a pleasure as always, my lady. What bringest thee to mine studio today? I was under the impression that the children would be walking home together today.
They most certainly did, and they have informed me that there is a very serious matter that requires my unique skills. And she kind of gives a little wink of like, play along. Or just to show that she's like going along with some scheme that the kids have.
Okay, I'm gonna roll insight for this man.
Yeah. I don't know how she winks when her eyes are closed all the time, but
it's the impression of the wink. You get the little star going off from the movement.
Yeah, exactly.
19. He like blinks for a second, then looks down at Wilde, who is very distinctly not looking in his direction. You get the impression that Cyril was not told that this was going to be happening.
Vivi is equally looking away. They are like dogs. If they don't look at it, they're not in trouble.
I can't see you, you can't see me, I'm not in trouble.
Exactly.
and there is a fond smile on his face. And he just sighs and says, "Ah, yes, I do believe it is around time to get prepared for the fire festival, for the Lamplighter Festival, is it not?"
That is what I have been informed, and given that, well, this would be both mine and Vivi's first Lamplighter Festival, it would
Well,
seem appropriate to, well, show us around.
well, I do suppose it would count as a special occasion. All right. He makes very much the dramatic sigh of, oh, I'm humoring my kid, but there is kind of the, okay, I can have fun with this.
And Vava just smile like her smile she smiles like a little wider, just I was told that you complain frequently about not having an outfit to wear, and I am here to fix that.
Complain is such a strong word. No, my lady, I just don't typically attend, is all.
So you do have an outfit then that would be appropriate. Is that what I am understanding?
No, no, not exactly to the dress code. I do have my shareth of costumes, of course. However, not
And what
within.
what is this dress code? She has uh not so subtly like slid up beside him as they talk.
Um, and there's kind of a faint, um, there's kind of a faint glow to his cheeks a little bit, which is his way of basically blushing. Um, and he says, "Well, it's everyone in town dresses up in the old ways, as they call it, and they gather in the town square for the dance at the end of the last night, and it's a good time. I just never really went out myself, so I never put together anything, I suppose."
Oh, all right. I see. Well, it shouldn't be too hard then to come up with something that fits this. I admit I am not familiar with the old ways. We are still new to town after all.
uh, you're in for a treat, my lady. And um, he kind of offers you a hand.
She takes it, and obviously, like she takes it, slides her arm under around his elbow. Like,
Yeah.
of course, this is the motions that we are familiar with. Yes.
And he kind of says, "I'm afraid I don't have anything in mine own closet, but if you'll accompany me to the costume room, I can show you some of what we might be looking at."
Vava just nods. Lead the way, darling.
And you actually leave the dance building for once.
Shocking.
Cyril Book leaving the dance building, the world is going to end.
Absolutely shocking. I'm sure there are a couple of students that are staring because he's left the building.
Not only has he left the building, he's left the building with another person that isn't a student or Valentino.
Yup.
Oh,
And
goodness.
if anybody is movie savvy, he's left the building with Vava Von fucking Vixen.
Yeah, there are fucking film students at this school. There are definitely a couple of them who are like looking and they're just like, is that is that Vava Von Vixen? What is she doing here? What? Why is she
Why?
with Professor Book? What?
Yeah, exactly. Everyone just like, what is happening? Yeah, that's so she lets Cyril lead her wherever the costume department is so that they can have a look at what they're gonna have to work with.
Yeah. The costume department turns out to be an entire small building built off of the back of the theater building.
Oh wow. Okay.
And Cyril kind of opens the door and coughs a little bit because it's a little dusty in there. He says,
Mm-hmm.
"Apologize for the mess. We have a lot of fashion design students."
That's, I mean, I would be shocked if it weren't filled to the brim, so it's quite all right.
Yeah, no, you guys walk inside. Have you ever seen that one Barbie Dreamhouse short where they walk into her closet and it's like an entire world of clothes?
Yes,
That is basically what you're looking
yes,
at here.
absolutely incredible. I am so happy.
It's that, except in not quite so many shades of pink.
Yeah, it's actually Technicolor, not just pink,
Pink.
and maybe a bit of purple or maroon.
Yeah.
But
um,
Vava is, well, one, Vivi is quietly vibrating because, oh boy, this is new and I want to touch everything. But
oh goodness. Wilde is actually going to look at Vivi and just be like, "Do you want to see the costumes that we use for the ballet recitals?"
yes, more than anything.
And he's going to look at his dad with the puppy dog eyes, and Cyril is going to sigh and say, "All right, but thou mustn't break anything, all right?"
Okay, thank you. She's already like,
Um, Wild makes a little cross my heart motion and chirps a little, "Thanks, Dad," and then runs off with Vivi into the costume department, probably never to be seen again.
probably never to be seen again. It's fine. In fact, Vava just, oh dear, I'm going to have to put up missing posters, aren't I?
Oh goodness, thou mustn't bother. Once the costume department has eaten thee, and he does kind of drop his voice into the spooky ghost story voice and do
Yeah.
the spooky ghost story fingers. Thou art never seen again.
Ah, never mind then. I'll have to start for their funerals, I see.
Oh goodness. Let's see. Historical. That should be. Goodness. Would it be historical or traditional? I apologize. Valentino is far more accustomed to this than I am. Ugh, goodness. He's in here practically 3 times a week. I only ever come in here to check the costumes for our latest ballet recital. It would be traditional, yes. And you can kind of, you don't even have to roll insight for this. You can kind of tell that he is out of his depth when it comes to clothes and costumes. This is a man who is a dancer. He has only ever had costumes chosen for him. He's never really
Mm-hmm.
been one to put together costumes.
Yeah, all right. That's understandable. That's why Vava is here. So she kind of makes a lead the way motion to at least get them into the correct section so that she can start, going through things for him.
Yeah. And in a fantastic display of the Toonkind trope of the building is bigger on the inside,
Of course.
um, Cyril, like, walks down the, sort of hallway that's in the middle of this, and interestingly, there are only a few costumes pulled out on racks in like the main hallway, but there are
Mm-hmm.
doors that are like stood open that lead into massive rooms full of clothes.
Oh, okay. I see. All right.
And he like pauses for a second and then snaps his fingers and says, "This one right here," and walks over to one labeled traditional, which is actually this very old wooden door carved with imagery of well, it's got imagery of a woman with wings for arms dancing with a woman in a long dress, both of whom are
Ooh.
wearing crowns, and overhead there is a swan and a raven.
Oh, all right. So Vava catches sight of this, and as they kind of walk in, she does turn to Cyril and calmly just, Wilde was telling me about the history of the festival, but I admit, well, he was a little distracted while he was explaining. Um,
Blesseth his heart. Um, how much did he tell you?
I understood that there are two queens and a fight.
Oh, that's he kind of laughs. That is well, that does cover the very, very basics. Oh, goodness. It's a bit of a historical thing. Most of it is, well, and here he kind of pauses and his hand kind of comes up to brush against the shimmering crystal pin
Hmm.
that holds together his cloak, and he says, "Let me tell you this, if I didn't. If one, we weren't an Inkwell, and two, we. I didn't have a personal experience with such things. Let me tell us to you, I would not believe the story that they tell."
Her eyebrows kind of go up like, okay, all right, go on.
Well, it's an old story, but supposedly several hundred years ago, several thousand, in fact, which, as you know, should be impossible.
Hmm.
Um, Several thousand years ago, this land was entirely unsettled and ruled mainly by spirits and fairies of the sort. Um, and he kind of starts leading the way through the aisles of traditional style clothing because the kids' stuff is up front because, you got to get the little ones dressed first because otherwise they will never be dressed.
Exactly.
Um, and he explains that, um, well, at one point, one of the one of the essentially princesses of the spirits, if I am to remember correctly, Princess Tula, the swan spirit, she fell in love with a mortal, um a tune by the name of, goodness, Lohan, I believe.
Hmm.
And Tula and Lohan, they came here to escape the kind of conflict that would be caused by a queen of the fairies marrying, or a princess of the fairies, I should say, marrying a common mortal.
Vava just nods because, yep, she knows this trope. Like, this is, yep.
And, well, the Lamplighter Festival is. Originally, it was called the Festival of Hope, if we're being honest, and it is representative of the week long war that happened when Tula's family finally caught up with her.
Oh, I see. All right. That is a bit more than a fight, yes.
Hmm, a bit more. The big dance around the bonfire at the end of the week is the main tradition, and it's representative of Tula's last burst of magic, a brilliant light that she cast over her realm, over all of Knickknack Town, and it's why the walls are there, and um, it's why um, it's why Knickknack is such an interesting place. Let's put it that way.
Vava kind of she squints a little, but she accepts that answer. Like, all right, that's I see. That is quite the tale.
There are a few of those around here. He smiles and says, and then kind of gestures because you guys are now in the sort of section built for people more your own age.
Yep.
Um,
The non-small.
the non-tiny children section.
Yeah.
Um, and you can roll perception if you like, or I can just tell you.
Well, let's see what Dice Parser says. Let's see how nice Dice Parser is first before we figure this out. So, hey, all right, 19.
All right, that's a good one. So you look around, and all around you are outfits that simultaneously look like they could have stepped right off of the ballet stage, but also look very much like the clothes of working people.
Okay.
Um, they're not fancy or glittery the way that, most most ballet costumes are. There's not the layers upon layers of tulle. There's not the stiff, starched out tutus or anything. But all of this looks like stuff that you could theoretically dance in.
Okay.
And something you might note is there is hardly a speck of white in this. There is
Okay.
hardly any white here. Everything is in warm, rich, bright jewel tones and is covered in detailed, heavy embroidery.
Okay. All right. Vava is taking all of this in and like getting an idea of what to kind of like look for Cyril. And she's just, hmm, this is different from what I would expect from a festival, but I can, hmm. And she's thinking and like going through kind of getting a better like to get an idea of what. Uh and she does eventually ask Cyril, "Do you have a preference, darling?
As to.
Style, fit, dress, pant?"
Hmm. And he kind of contemplates for a moment and shrugs and says, I'll admit I do typically prefer to wear dresses when dancing, and given that it's probably going to be unavoidable.
Well, you're coming with me, darling, so yes, it will be. She's trying to be lighthearted, but there is that threat of no, oh no, you're dancing.
Oh, goodness. And he kind of smiles and says, Well, then we must find an outfit for you as well.
Indeed, we must. Well, then, perhaps we can find something that complements each other.
Oh, goodness.
She has fallen back into flirting. I'm sorry. This is how she is. Just
She's precious and we love her, but good God, you're going to kill this man. Like, you can roll insight if you want, but I will give you the note that he is glowing.
I mean, it's a D20 and she just yep, that's a 13. So like, yep, she just he's glowing. She's flirting. She can't help it. It's her natural state of being. So she's just it's working.
He's trying to be polite and she's flirting with him and he's blushing and he wants to flirt back, but he is bad at romantic affection, so how do you do things?
Oh, baby. Baba takes his hand and just kind of leads him further back, like, come on now. I'm sure we can find something that will make both of us look wonderful and lovely.
Of course.
And from deeper in the costume department, you hear an exclamation from Vivi. It's wordless, but it sounds completely odd.
And you hear from very distantly, like very muffled and far away, I know, right?
These children have found the sequins and rhinestones.
They are going to come back absolutely covered in glitter, despite having
Yes,
not broken anything.
exactly. Absolutely.
Because I don't know if you've ever walked through the costume department of a ballet studio. I have. You don't escape from that without looking like a living disco ball.
It's gotta have glitter, okay?
You gotta be able to blind people when the spotlight hits you.
Exactly.
And Cyril kind of, like, makes a note of that sound, looks at Vava, and just kind of affectionately shakes his head.
She's doing the exact same thing. Just it's that understanding parent of, oh dear.
That's another week of getting glitter out of the carpet.
Vava just kind of snorts a little like, see, this is why we have hardwood.
Ah, perhaps if I shall invest in such a thing myself.
It is absolutely worth it. Even if Vivi does get a little slippery when her nails get a little long, but that's all right.
God damn it. I know exactly what you're, like, referencing with that, and I'm giggling because, yes, the fucking, oh shit, my nails are too long, skitter.
Hmm. 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 Yeah. Spoken by someone who has owned a dog that had that problem. It was great. Anyway.
I have known several dogs who had that problem.
Yep.
Goodness. So, how do we want to go about this whole outfit finding debacle? Do we want to just say we go into fashion montage mode?
I mean, to be fair, that's like in the terms of trope senses, that is how this would work, is like absolute fashion montage of both of them trying on dresses and either getting approving nods or just like no no's. Um and eventually at some point the kids will like tackle one of them while they're trying on dresses, and there will be a big old kerfuffle because oh lord, now the children are here to help, probably help.
Help!
uh
Help in big glowing air quotes. I imagine
yes.
Wilde helping just winds up with someone in just the most eye-searingly green dress ever.
Yep. And Vivi cannot see it, but even she's just like, maybe not.
And
Just
Wilde just
that,
kind of gives the sort of serious fashion designer nod, like, yeah, green isn't either of their colors.
especially not bright green. Vava can rock a nice forest green. I've seen her do it, but not this color. No, mm-mm, mm-mm.
No.
No, no, no.
Vava just standing there in a bright lime green dress, just like, I don't think this works.
Not quite. Seafoam maybe, but no, not neon. Let's try something else. And just very quickly like, nope, we're getting into something different.
God, I'm gonna have to wind up designing these after we have this FPS.
Ooh, exciting.
You know me,
For
I
a
love dress time. Um,
Absolutely. I was gonna say, and for a fun bit of cameo, eventually Vava is like trying on an old Greek style dress.
uh, she puts on the old Greek style sunset colored dress, and Cyril just immediately bright, glowy silver blue, and just um like if there was a wall in front of him, he would probably smack right into it.
Yep. And Vivi like tweaks this and is just, oh, we gotta get that dress for mom.
And Wilde like looks at her, nods, and says, "Hey, Dad, I think that one is misshelved. Do you want me to put it back with the other historical stuff?" Uh, yes, right. Of course, that would probably be best. Although, Miss Vava, I must say you do look stunning. Um,
Why, thank you, love.
you're going to kill this man.
She just kind of she does a little spin and like uh oh shit, hang on. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Okay. Sorry, that was my phone. She does a little spin and like uh gives him another wink, like it is very flattering, isn't it? It's almost like it was made for me.
And that actually like tweaks his thoughts, and he's like, "Wait a second. Is there a tag on that?"
I assume not. I mean, well, I assume there might be. It's the costume department's. And she's like trying to look, and they're like, I assume like on the back where she can't reach it. Yeah, there's a tag.
Yeah. And Cyril like walks over, gently like tugs at the tag to take a look at it, and nods and says, "Ah, Taylor's work. I should have guessed."
Blah, kind of, you get that like head tilt of, oh, so you know the designer.
She's one of our best.
Nice. So Baba just goes to, different clothing, different outfit. Yep.
Yep, and Wilde not so discreetly puts that in a box for Miss Vava to take home, or at the very least for Vivi to take home and sneak into Vava's closet.
Oh, Vivi absolutely shoves that into her hammer space. It's in there now.
And just another very subtle high five from the kids.
Mhm. Just, yes, they've done it. They did a thing. All right.
Operation Dramatic Parents is a go.
Is a go. It is going.
Oh, goodness.
Vava, I will say a lot of what Vava gravitates towards in like the terms of style. If she gets long, anything that's long, like floor length, it is extremely long. Uh, and she makes a motion of like starting to kind of like she hitches it behind her to a certain degree before deciding like yes, this is appropriate, or going no immediately and then immediately changing something else, because the whole point is she's trying to figure out how to tie the dress up for combat if need be.
I'm I'm gonna roll insight to see if Cyril picks up on that. 15. Does he pick up on it?
I would say yes, because he would also note while they're doing this that when she does this, and he would have noticed it in the in the Greek style dress, that she does in fact have a knife holster on her thigh. Like,
Dang.
she just keeps that with her at all points, like not even in her hammer space, because her hammer space has the chance to fumble and the holster does not.
Cyril is just having a moment of not sure whether I'm intimidated or attracted, but okay. And then he kind
Just
of like smiles at Vava and says, "While I can appreciate thy sense of pre-preparedness, art thou really so frightened of danger to think that you'll be attacked at a festival?"
oh darling, it's not that I'm afraid of being attacked. It's just that I'm prepared should something happen.
Hmm.
She makes like a motion with one hand of just, my son has a habit of attracting the plot, we'll say.
Hmm.
And I have found it is better to be prepared than not.
Okay, remind me, does Cyril know that Vava has a son?
Uh, they met before Marcel and Vava had that kind of like heart to heart. So probably not.
And he kind of blinks and looks at her and is like, "I was unaware you had a son, and I shall be prepared if such a person ever does visit, because goodness gracious, attracted to the plot. That
He's
would be a danger in this town."
Vava kind of smiles a little, like it's that fond smile, but there's that hint of he doesn't have to roll for this because it's parent to parent communication. So
Parent
it's
to parent,
fond,
clown to clown communication.
yes, it's the fondness, and also that like my kid does dangerous things and I support them, but oh God, does it terrify me. But she's just like, he is the wishing stars warlock.
Hmm.
I well and she just kind of nods like wherever he tends to follow where things happen, where the story goes.
Hmm.
And well,
Stories are hardly ever kind to their characters, are they?
it depends.
Hmm.
It depends what you make of it, but he is, well, he's about as kind as they come. And
Hmm.
she smiles again, like much more fond. You might have to meet him one day. Marcel, he's also an incredible chef.
Hmm. I I can imagine that some of the rest of the teachers might be delighted to meet him then.
He works at the studio, so
Oh
perhaps I can
goodness.
yes, but it's small world. Perhaps I can sneak some of his cooking over one day.
And Cyril chuckles and says, "I don't know. He'd have to be pretty damn good to beat the to beat the Iron Chef himself."
And Bava's eyebrows go up like, "Oh?"
And Cyril just grins at her.
There's this playful of like, "Are you calling my son's skills into question, darling?"
"Not at all, madam."
Oh, good, for I fear I would have to defend his honor if that were the case.
Oh goodness, I shall never recover from such a duel with someone as lovely as thyself.
Oh, please. I'm sure that give me a minute. Hang on, I need a drink.
Bless your heart, hon.
She's just, oh, please. I'm sure you fought your fair share of lovely ladies and quite handsome men. Why, I'm sure you have to beat them off of you with a stick sometimes.
Um, there is
Yes,
a
she
mixed
called him attractive.
reaction to that.
She called him attractive. Haha.
There is a mixed reaction to that.
Oh.
So, on one hand, glowy, blushy, obviously, and, a bit of the, oh god, he has gotten so flustered at this point that he's partially melting.
Uh-huh.
There is also, at the mention of, I'm sure you fought many people, essentially,
Yeah.
there is a flicker of something a little dark behind his eyes.
Oh. Uh-oh. Whoops.
Oopsie doopsie.
Oopsie doopsie. We're gonna see if she catches that, and if not,
We're just gonna breeze right on by.
we're gonna breeze right on by that because that's a two.
That's a fucking two, Vava. You are too
Vava
busy
is-
flirting.
Baba is far too busy flirting. Absolutely.
And
She
Cyril honestly kind of just brushes past the dark moment in his head himself and is just like, of course, but certainly not as many as yourself.
well, I mean, not to boast about it, but I have had many an admirer during my film career.
Honestly, I think half the whispers I heard on the way over were directed at you, which is shocking because usually you people are staring at me because I'm never out of the damn studio.
It's, well, if you watched a little more film, you would know why, darling.
And he chuckles and says, yes. That does remind me. Lumia asked me about a certain project that she wants me involved in. I'll have to talk to her about that later this week.
Baba's ears go up, just, oh.
Oh, she's our film course teacher, or head of the film department, I should say. She had something in mind that she thought I might find interesting. Nothing much, but
Oh.
he smiles and says, I might be going to you for tips in a bit.
I would be more than happy to teach you everything I know.
God, these two are complete dorks.
Yup.
These two are fucking dorks, and I love them.
Yup. Baba heavily flirting. Will she admit first? No. No.
Never.
Never.
These two are just gonna keep dancing around each other. Literally.
Why not.
Jokes! But anyway, what do you think we
Anyway.
find when we eventually find the look that nails it?
Okay, so, um, I feel like, so give me what Cyril would have, and then I can figure out something for Vava.
So, Cyril tends to skew towards things, I mean, number one, in his color palette.
Mhm.
You know, despite the fact that the colors of the school are red, purple, and black, he's always in blue and white.
Yeah.
Given that there's not really any white in this area, he winds up picking out an outfit. Let me see if I can get a reference. It's sort of this almost medieval styled outfit. Does Vava know much of ballet?
A little bit, but not like,
Like, would she know
sh
enough to know the classics?
oh, probably, yeah. She would know the classics.
So, It's an outfit based quite significantly on this blue dress that you might know is from the play Giselle,
Hmm.
um,
I
which
think I know. I think I know it.
which you know happens to be a tragedy. But let's just move right on past that.
Yeah, that
Anyway,
is fine. It's fine.
Cyril picks out a sort of dress like that has sort of the dark blue corset and cinches at the sleeves with sort of the loose fitting puffed white sleeves, except it's not white, it's a light blue. And all
Hmm.
around the edges is embroidery of hearts and flowers and feathers and whatnot.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Definitely something like you can move around and dance in easily. And
All
he
right.
also picks out a pair of matching dark blue point shoes.
Of course. Vava makes a mental note of, oh, one day I will get this man in something that is not blue. But until then, we'll work with what he's comfortable with.
Listen, you know that moment when, like, you find the one color that's flattering on you and that is the only thing you wear ever after?
Oh, absolutely. I point at Vava's myriad of red outfits before
Yeah.
she started branching into other colors.
Yeah, Cyril has that kind of same relationship with blue, except he hasn't started branching out yet because his entire wardrobe is blue, black, white.
Yep. All right. Well, Vava will fix that. She'll get some nice purples in there and some greens and even some yellows. Don't worry about it. Um, she'll make him colorful. It's fine. Uh, but with that being the case, then Vava would equally end up with something uh something blue to match. And it actually, like, against orange fur, there it looks pretty damn good against orange fur because yeah, they're complementary colors, but that's kind of the point, is they're
Mm-hmm.
complementary. So, they match. And do I even have something that would be like, hmm, do I? Let's see. I have many Vava fashions here. I just have to find if I have one. I don't think I do. Uh, but what she ends up in is a little shorter. It only goes to like probably her knees, so it's easy to move around in, and
Mm-hmm.
still, like, you know, the knife hilt isn't just out and on display.
We aren't all, knives out where
We
God
aren't
can
knives
see.
out over here. Like, it's fine. Baba is not
Not planning
Baba
to
is not
murder
ready for.
anyone at this fucking town dance.
No, it's she's here for a good time, okay? It's fine. Um, but she would end up with something like that. Um, hmm. Hmm. Let's see. She would probably like, equally it would probably have like a corset bodice type deal, but I imagine hers would not actually have sleeves.
Oh, nice.
Um, yeah. Uh, it would just be the bodice and then the actual skirt, and probably a bit layered. Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't think she would put point shoes on. She's not she's not a ballerina. She's
That's okay. Cyril can be the ballerina for both of them.
hell yeah. But she at least would get something to match in that vein. And uh would she? No, she wouldn't. She's covered in fur. Never mind. I was about to say, would she but get some tights to match? And then I remembered, no, she's covered in fur. Tights on fur is horrid. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Um,
no, that sounds painful.
yeah, no. Yeah, yeah, there's the dress. So yeah, Vava's that's what I'm kind of envisioning at the moment for Vava. It's I'm not very fashion oriented right now on the fly, so that's just what my brain has come up with. But
You are entirely valid.
I will say she does produce a flower crown that has like a little like notch for a hair that has like a little hair comb in it that she uh like adds with the ensemble and it matches it pretty well. Like,
Aw, that's precious. Yes, absolutely.
yeah. Yeah. It was a gift from Prim.
Aw.
Yeah.
Um, and Sarah will pause for a minute, then snap his fingers and say, "Oh, goodness. I have a mask. Thou dost not. Hang on a sec."
Oh, are masks important?
You could say that. Um, and he reaches into his own hammer space and pulls out a sort of shimmery, shiny, smooth black mask that looks like almost like a bird.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and he slips that on over his own face and then um, walks over to a little shelf that has a bunch of different masquerade style masks and looks at Vava's outfit, looks at the masks for a second, and then picks one out for her that it's very clearly inspired by a bluebird, but unlike Cyril's, which kind of has the nose piece that indicates, like actually makes the shape of the bird,
Mm-hmm.
it's more like just a pair of wings.
Oh, okay.
And it has little painted designs of flowers around the edges to go with her
Oh,
flower crown.
nice. All right. Okay. And
And
so
he brings
Vava,
it over and is, does this suit thy fancy?
oh, why, yes, it does. And she takes it and slips it on to like make sure that it fits over and
Over the
just
snoot.
oh, I wasn't gonna say it, but yes, over the snoot, over the teardrop snoot. And it does. So just ah, how wonderful. It's I see animus traditions bleed over a bit, or maybe this bled into animus, who's to say?
Who's to say, indeed? And he kind of smiles and says, "Supposedly it's so that nothing sneaks into your eyes and steals your heart while you sleep."
Oh, well, that's more than she anticipated. Just ah, that is certainly a reason.
And he kind of laughs and just gently nudges her with an elbow and says, "It's stuff and nonsense. I've been going to supervise the festival for years without a mask, and I've been fine every time."
Are you sure, darling? Am I not going? Am I? I might have to go on a quest to find and save your heart this year.
Oh, goodness. Well, at the very least, then, I would know my heart is in good hands.
Oh, damn! I think you actually rendered her speechless. I think you did it, Cyril. Baba has turned red. She kind of flusters a moment and then she's just, I can assure you I would take very good care of it.
God, and for once, I think Cyril isn't even, like, flustered by this. Because, for certain reasons, that's just a normal thing to talk about for him.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Baba over here just like, oh damn, he outsmoothed me. Oh shit.
Meanwhile, Wilde in the background is just like, "Wow, I didn't know Dad was capable of flirting."
He's just, whoa. He did a mom.
I'm just imagining these two sitting in the background with popcorn, just like looking at each other like the plot thickens.
Yes, absolutely.
Although,
Absolutely.
although knowing Wilde, he would probably mess it up and say something like the plot chickens.
No, 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 it's the plot quickens.
Quickens? Wait, but isn't
Is
pacing
that
an
right?
important thing?
Wait, it is, but Hmm. And then the children are now thinking and lost into their own ideas.
God. Oh, goodness. I think that. Do you think that's like a good place to end sort of the dress up area?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cyril has flustered Vava, and now she is just, ah. Well, I do believe that is, I do believe we have found outfits then.
Yep. And I guess eventually they wind up going to the Lamplighter Festival together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it would be really funny.
Mm.
So you know how the kids went to try and win the golden apple?
Yes.
What if by going and dancing, Cyril and Vava accidentally win it?
Oh my God. On one hand, Vava would be so pleased and tickled. On the other hand, no, her kid was supposed to win.
Listen, here's the thing. They can say, oh, it's rigged for adults. Here, you guys are the real winners, and they're gonna give them the
Oh
apple.
my gosh, yes, absolutely. I feel like that would require a performance roll, though.
Yeah, performance check.
Oh, Vava.
Cyril,
Let's
what's
put
your
that skill to
performance?
good use. Hey! That's a dirty 20.
And that's a 23.
Nice. You know what? For fun, I'm gonna roll Vivi because I want to see.
Oh god, I'm gonna roll wild then.
Nice, kid! Hell yeah, Vivi! We'd love to see it!
Oh god.
Oh, Wild, no!
Wild got a 9.
Wild, he is so excited. He is far too excited.
Wild is
Oh,
better at
no.
music than dancing. He takes after his dad Major.
Yeah, but just, oh no. They almost won.
They almost won. They almost did it.
They almost did it.
Oh, bless them.
Baba absolutely still gives Wild the apple, though, because they were clearly the better dancers.
Listen, considering the apple is actually an apple, Wild is going to take it, look at it, share it with Vivi, and just be like, look how shiny. And then he's going to look at it and consider and say, why don't we turn it into an ice cream sundae?
You can eat it?
Yeah, it's only sort of made of gold.
Ah. Mom, can we make, I was doing the wrong voice. Can we make fancy Sundays, Mom? Mom, it's, you can eat it. Yes, darling, I see that.
And Cyril is just kind of wheezing. God bless
To the
these
side,
kids.
doubled over.
He's just kind of trying very hard not to burst out laughing.
Understandable completely.
And that is how the night ends with caramel apple sundaes.
Oh, hell yeah, we love to see it. Oh, man.
God.
And that's how we fade out.
Yep.
Ah. Oh
Thank
my
you
God,
so
I
much
love
for playing with me, Hex.
it. Thank you. I cannot wait for Flirtation Chicken to come to a head.
God. And I still
God, is
gotta...
Win gonna have to be the one to finally be like, come on?
Yeah, I've gotta fucking organize an FPS with Babel to get Win and Cyril to meet each other.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
God, I could probably do that within this week. Ooh.
OT3 2.
OT3 squared!
They do have 2 hands. That's the whole point.
Everyone has 2 hands! Alright, but anyway, audience, thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you for listening.
We
Thank
hope you
everyone.
had fun.
Yeah. And say goodbye to for the recording.
Goodbye, listeners!
Bye, listeners.